So over the last few days streaming on Twitch, a lot of you guys have asked me, yo, Skills, how do these modifiers actually work? How do you level up the season pass? So this video is going to be broken up into two sections. We'll be talking about the season pass, what you should be doing to level that up. And then we'll be talking about active modifiers and then the enemies modifier. So two parts, but let's get into the season pass, how to level it up. What can you do to level it up? Because it's a lot different than just doing public executions like we used to do back in the past seasons. So let's get into it. So if you notice, we have our seasonal pass here, right? You have a free track. Well, not free track. It's all one track, but you have free items on there. And then you have the premium items. Now you can either buy just the premium or the premium plus. The premium plus gives you like an extra outfit, some credits. But if you just want the pass itself, everything on this pass is available. With the premium, it's 1,000 credits. And all the free items are the items you will get. Now, how do you level this up? Well, an easy way to kind of make it simple is you want to look for things that have this symbol right here. Little symbol right here is going to help you level up and get those items. So what could that be? Well, if you notice on your journey, if you start with your journey alone, if you were to do any of these little side missions, you get 250 points, right? This one right here, 250 points here. You only need to do 6 of these to progress through the journey missions. So that's something for you guys to keep in mind is as you do these, you'll also get the final reward for completing like 6 of these. You'll get 2,200. So you do this right here, 250, 250, 250. Once you claim this, you get another 2,200. So that is one way for you guys to do that. Also, there are these things called priority objectives. This is where you guys will get those passive talents. We'll talk about them in a second. You can see I'm waiting for the dark zones supply drops to happen so I could get this one right here. So I've been holding on to this one. But sometimes they offer you different rewards. Sometimes they offer you points for your seasonal pass. So keep an eye on that. Also, if you go to your main area where it says Manhunt, Scout 1, right? This will all give you, when you complete it, it gives you 2,000 for your pass. So make sure, my recommendation is complete Scout 1. Very easy to do. You can knock this out pretty quick. Now these are time gated, so you can only do one of these once a week. But yes, that is where you can get your first set of points. After that, what I would recommend is maybe do like the weekly shade reacquisition project. Some of these projects, look at this, offer, yes, points for your seasonal pass. So you can do these projects too if you want. So these projects also, not all of them, you just have to look for the ones that have the symbol, little symbol, which is part of our season pass. But again, to me, this one's super easy to do. I would do that. If you like doing these projects, do that. But again, I would go back to your seasonal track, go to your journey, and then knock these out. And as you do these also are going to unlock active modifiers, passive modifiers, which we're going to talk about how they work and what they do for you in this game. But yeah, that is how you guys want to level up your seasonal pass. So if you guys are trying to level this up, you guys are struggling, you want to focus on that. But now let's get into the global modifiers. So if you look here, we are at our global modifiers. As you guys can see here, you have your active modifiers. You do have to unlock these and your passive modifiers. To get these, you have to do those objectives. I'll show you in a second. But first things first, you guys do not want to play with this. You guys are not enjoying it. There's a little button down here that says deactivate. You can deactivate the global modifier. Global modifier will always be on. Think of it as a global event that lasts the whole season, right? So how does the global modifier work? So we'll first talk about this. Well, the global modifier, there are 3 range zones: short, medium, and long. Depending on the distance to the target, the weapon damage is amplified by a fixed percentage. Short range is 1.2, medium 1.35, long range 1.5. Now, there are no bonuses applied to past distances. So how do you know if you're in the short range, medium range, or long range? Well, that's where we're going to go to our range right here. So if you look here, we can do 5 meters. And you look right now, you can see that I have the blue range, right? So we have blue range activated right now. Now mine says activate reversal, but that's because of the modifier that I have on, but it's for a short time, but I'm not going to activate it. So you can see there. So it has the blue range. You look over here, we're in the red. That is the long range. So that would be that long range. And here we're in the medium range. So you see it's in the yellow. So we have blue, short, red, long, and now if you're anything past that red or anything, well, I don't think there's anything shorter than the close range, but anything past that, you won't get anything. But yeah, red, blue, yellow. So medium, short, and that's the easiest way for you guys to see those modifiers, right? That's the easy way for you guys to see how the short range, medium range, and long range work. Now there are active modifiers that you can get. And if you notice here, if we click on it, there are a total of 3 that you can unlock for this season. And then if you click on your passive modifiers, there are a ton of them, right? So we have 6 here, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 total modifiers that you guys can pick. Some are short range buffs, medium range buffs, long range buffs, and then multi-zone buffs. So something for you to keep in mind. Now, how do you unlock these, right? So your active modifiers, well, we need to go back to our seasonal pass real quick. We'll click right here. Right here where it says journey, as long as you complete 6 of these, you can go on to the next one. You complete 6 of these, go on to the next one, 6 of these, next one. But once you get to number 4 and you complete 6 of these, you will unlock your first active modifier, which is called reversal. Now at 5, you'll unlock your next active modifier, which is called prime time. And then at 6, you'll get the all out active modifier. So that's where you'll end up getting all 3 modifiers that you can move there. Now, if you want to see what they do, I'll show you in a second. Now, for your passive ones, those all come from priority objectives. They randomly give you different things. You can abandon the objective you don't see when you want, but when you see it, it'll say passive modifier. Once you accept it, it'll give you what the passive modifier is. You don't have to do any of the ones that say PvP. You can just abandon or just keep doing the ones that say activity, mission, open world. Now, this is where you get your passive modifiers. They don't always happen. Sometimes you get exotic items, other things. But as you keep playing through it, hopefully you end up locking. But that's where all your passive modifiers will come from. So your passive modifiers are down here. Your active modifiers are up here. So if you notice, for reversal, swap damage bonuses, and equipped passive modifiers between short and long range for a limited time, increasing each zone's amplified damage by 25%. Now, the total duration can be extended for each headshot within the 2 distances up to a maximum of 100% of its initial duration, which the cooldown in this is 50 seconds. So this active modifier you guys saw, reversal, when I'm aiming in, right, I can activate it with the button T. Depending if you're on controller, it's going to be different. So you see next to my face, it says activate reversal. I can hit T. It will activate it. That's just something for you guys to keep out. I'll activate it for you. Do you see? It activated. So it removed, it just switched everything. So the short, if you notice right here, so any of the buffs are there, but all the short ranges are here. So just something for you to keep in mind. So everything gets reversed. But there are other active modifiers. You have all out. When activated, you will have 10 seconds to eliminate an enemy in any range zone. The zone that enemy was killed in would now count for a full range spectrum. But this effect will slowly decrease for each 5% it decreases. You receive 5% increased weapon damage. Eliminating additional enemies restores the 2.5% of the effect. Cooldown 50 seconds. So cooldown, all of them are different. And then there's prime time. On trigger, all quick passive modifiers become effective only within a medium range for 15 seconds. Every critical hit within the range adds 0.5 seconds to the duration of the effect. So again, 3 different ones. You can choose which one. You can't have all 3 active at the same time, but you can choose which ones you want. So reversal is the only one I have active, and that's what I have there. Now for your passive modifiers, these are always active. Effective range, short range. You can see there's 12 of them. I'll show you when I have liability. It deals 30% more damage to armor enemies within short range, but the con to this one is the damage received from armor enemies is increased by 15%. That's something you have to keep in mind. When you do use some of them, they might make those enemies a little bit stronger. And that's how those work, right? And there's a ton of them, right? So what you'll do is you'll plan your builds and then hopefully kind of mess with your modifiers, and that will make your build even stronger. So hopefully with the global event, with the active modifier, with the passive modifiers, you become stronger. Now, hostiles do have a modifier, and you can see right here, a lot of people ignore this. You can click on that. Now, these are the 4 modifiers you have here. Now, this modifier with the little, what's a dragon, is dangerous. And I'll tell you why, because this is the one that reflects those bullets, because shooting an enemy with a medium range builds a stack. For every stack, a portion of the damage dealt will be reflected back at you. The amount of damage received is directly proportional to the amount of stacks you have. Shooting an enemy from a different range resets stacks. So my recommendation is, if you have any enemies in that medium range, what you're gonna wanna do is push closer to them and shoot them at close range, and you won't get that reflective damage. You'll be able to kill them. So once you start seeing those enemies and you start building that stacks, that can really take you down very fast. So you might wanna push closer to the enemy. All the enemies will have the symbols on their head. This one right here has enemies received a mark corresponding to the specific range zones. Marked enemies receive 60% less damage when hit from outside the indicated range zone. So if you see an enemy with a red symbol, well, that means that's long range. If you see an enemy with the yellow symbol, that means you need to be in the middle range. And if you see an enemy with the close symbol, that means you need to be in the blue range, right? So just make sure you line that up with whatever enemy you have. And hopefully this gameplay is kind of showing you that. Now this one, I haven't seen it too much. It looks like the Jason mask. It says every hit for enemy steals 5% of your movement speed for 10 seconds, up to a maximum of 4 stacks, permanently increasing theirs. The next hit you receive at 4 debuffs stacks with the inflict of confusion and removes all stacks. Hits from separated enemies count towards stacking the same debuff. So again, I haven't seen this one too much, but it does pop up. This one you see a lot, and what it does is any enemy that shoots you within short range will put you on fire. Any enemy that shoots you from long range will shock you. Enemies at medium range use normal ammo. So in that yellow range, normal. And remember, guys, everything is on this game is about ranges. So you have short range, medium range, long range. So that's what you just have to keep an idea of how you run it. And that's how all the hostile modifiers work. And that's how our modifiers work. Remember, all this can be changed as long as you're not in combat. I'm in combat because I'm in the range. But again, that is just something for you guys to keep in mind when you guys are looking at this. If you guys are struggling with this, keep an eye on this. A lot of these symbols will make the difference in how much damage you're doing to an enemy, especially something like this. You see this little pearl. You see this little, what is it, dragon, right? Reptile, you see that there. If you see this like little bullseye with the short range, long range, and then of the Jason mask, just keep an eye out for these. I will tell you sometimes the modifiers do not pop up, but that's just something for you guys to keep in mind when you guys are playing the game. So hopefully this video helped you guys out. And remember, at the end of the day, if you guys don't want it, you guys can deactivate. And remember, you can switch these as much as you want. You can only have 3 on at a time, and 1 active modifier at a time. These will be the modifiers for this season, but hopefully this video helped you guys out. Hey, if you guys enjoyed the video, found it useful, leave a thumbs up. See you guys in the next one. Hey, Nothing But Skills out.